What's up guys, welcome to K's Daily Programming. This is the first video of our SQL fundamental series. I actually decided to take this time and teach you guys some SQL essentials. If you are new to SQL or have some knowledge and you would like to learn more, this is the right place for you. We will be talking about things like CRUD, SQL procedures, triggers, views, user-defined function, you name it. I will try to keep these videos as short as possible, as easy as ABC, and as smooth as a baby's bottom. On today's agenda, we'll be talking about what is SQL, what is it used for, what is a relational database, and relational database management systems and career path you can take with the knowledge of SQL. Without wasting any of your time, let's get into it. SQL or SQL, short for Structured Query Language, is a language used for communicating with the database. As the definition says, it's a programming language for storing and processing information in a relational database. It's actually a language that helps us to work with our data stored in a database or in a relational database, to be specific. A relational database stores information in a tabular form. That just simply means a relational database is a type of a database that stores information or data in a table-like format. The data is stored in a table with rows and columns. You can use SQL to perform what we call CRUD operations. Simply means create, read, update, and delete. And here at the bottom, you can see a simple SQL statement. This statement retrieves all your information or your data from your table. So the table name here, it's actually a placeholder that you can actually replace with the name of a table. So it reads as select, asterisk, or star from a table name. So what it does is it retrieves all your columns and your rows from your table. This is the more likely the first statement that you are to learn, and for the easiest statement that there is in SQL. A database is a collection of data that relates to one another stored in a single file. The definition says it's an organized collection of structured information or data typically stored electronically. It often stores information about people such as customers or users. Social media platform uses database to store user information such as names, email addresses, user behavior, password, you name it. There are different types of database. We have what we call SQL databases and NoSQL databases. A SQL database is actually referred to as a relational database. It's a type of a database that stores information in a table-like format. And NoSQL database is a type of a database that stores information in a graph-like or document or key value pair. So since we'll be dealing with SQL, that means we'll be going with the relational database. When you think of a relational database, just think of an Excel file. So in an Excel file, you can have as many sheets as you want. You can have one or more sheets in an Excel file. So imagine if you're managing an online store and you had a document that you store the information in. So in one sheet, you can store information about the product that you sell, information such as the SKU code, the product description, and the quantity left. And in another sheet, you can store information such as order history. And in another sheet, you can store information such as vendors or suppliers. So all those sheets, they serve as a database table. So exactly like I said, a database is nothing but something similar to an Excel file that contains of many sheets. So the Excel file is a database, and the sheets inside that Excel file serves as your database tables. So here we see an example of a SQL database versus a NoSQL database. So on the left here we have two tables. The first table is called person and the other one is called orders. So in the person table you have information such as name and phone that stores information about the person's name, and I don't know what phone is. It might be a phone number, it might be something else. And order stores information about the particular orders that people made. And on the right, if you take a close look, you can see that this is the exact same representation of the data that is on the left, but now it's presented in NoSQL database. And if you're familiar with JSON, you can tell that this is JSON. It's actually stored in a document-like format. So if you look at the first name, it's John. It's what we had on our left table. And then we have the orders. This is John's orders. And this is the same information that it's on this table. So one of the advantages that NoSQL has over a SQL databases, it's the ability to nest data within data, or to nest columns within columns. RDBMS, or Relational Database Management System. It's a program used to create, update, and manage relational databases. Some of the most well-known RDBMS include MySQL Server, Postgres, MariaDB, Microsoft SQL Server, and Oracle databases. It can be confusing for someone that is new to SQL to understand what is RDBMS and what is it actually used for. Most people are familiar with the interfaces or applications for communicating with the systems, applications such as SSMS for SQL Server and Workbench for MySQL. These are the applications that allow us to communicate with our RDBMS of choice. The RDBMS, it's the underlying structure that hosts and manage our databases. SSMS and Workbench are applications that allow us to communicate with RDBMS through a user interface. Most people don't talk about database management systems often, and it is easy to forget or not to know what it actually does, especially for someone that is new to SQL. Most of it might not make sense now, but it will add up in the next coming videos. And career path. I'm not going to go into details on each and every of these, but these are some of the careers that you can take on with the knowledge of SQL. You can be a big data engineer, quality assurance analyst, SQL developer, data warehouse architect, or DBA, simply means a database administrator. My advice is, if you are interested in some of these, you can go and do a research on what exactly they are, their daily basis activities, and the pros and cons before you get yourself into something you will not enjoy because the name sounds fancy. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video, where we will be installing our database management system of choice, the application to work with it, and finally writing our first code and creating some databases. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn notification bell on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.